Welcome back to Impossible versus Matches, and a Merry Christmas to all. It is the it is the Yuletide season, and I am joined by Craig. Craig, say hello.
Shalom.
Whoa! It's also Hanukkah.
That's right, baby.
Um, this is the podcast where we take a bunch of pop culture characters and pit them against each other, but this time we're going to do things a little bit different. We are going to celebrate the holidays by telling a Christmas story. A story that's been told not once, not twice, but like 5 times now. The Home Alone story.
Children Home Alone.
Yep, Home Alone. And how we're going to do this is we're going to tell the story of Home Alone through a few different scenarios. So Kevin McAllister is just our one character this whole time. And I've got some unique rules for this. We're going to be spinning our wheels, our randomizer wheels, to figure out what pop culture character is going to be breaking into Kevin's abode. The rules are simple. Kevin McAllister has to be Home Alone. As we've
Naturally.
yes, as we have established in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, the documentary film. Kevin McAllister does not have to be alone in his home. He can be in a different state, a different country, but he has to be alone. That is the one thing. We have to determine what these other characters want from Kevin, or how they're going to come together to get them trapped in Kevin's house of torture. How well they would fare in a lot of the classic Home Alone traps, I think.
Oh, of course.
And a very special and a twist for Kevin's favor. Kevin cannot have any help, except one scenario. If we feel like using it, he gets a complete random helper. That's the random old person that that gets to help. Not from the movies. This is a different pop culture character gets to help Kevin out, come in clutch at the end, and we have to figure out how that goes. Now, the villain, on the other hand, the person going against Kevin.
The wet bandits, if you will.
Yes, the wet bandits in the scenario. As far as I'm concerned, they can have as much help as they want, because Home Alone 2, we had the wet bandits, but then we also had the
hotel employees,
like 5 different people from the hotel, and then apparently the rest of New York at some point.
It was Kevin versus New York.
Yep. So this episode is Kevin McAllister versus the world, and I think we're going to go through four characters going against Kevin McAllister, so we can each get 2 picks. And we're just going to work together and brainstorm this and see how it goes. So without further ado, let's get into the classic tale of Home Alone 3. The one with Kevin McAllister.
We retcon the other ones.
We're going to retcon this is a soft reboot, if you would. So, Craig, you're the guest. Do you still have a list on you?
I do. I don't know how I'd go about finding it, though. So,
you know what? If you have Wheel of Names still in like your history or something, wheelofnames.com, you might still get your old list. Unless you put your list in your notes section, which I think you did.
I did.
Ah, sweet. It all comes together now.
It all comes together. Yep, I got it.
All right. So you're the guest. Would you like to select our first victim, if you would?
Yeah, that's right, victim. No, you can have the first one while I get the name wheel going up.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to shuffle it a few times, and let's see who we've got. Okay, so this first one, pretty wacky. The first person that is going to be trying to step up to Kevin is Michael Scott of Dunder Mifflin fame from The Office.
Oh, no.
Which I feel the Wet Bandits are more competent.
Yeah, gotta have mercy on this man's soul.
Yeah. But, so, to break it down for those few people that don't have I watch The Office in their Tinder bio, Michael Scott is the manager of the Dunder Mifflin branch or the Scranton branch of the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. He sells paper, and he's vastly incompetent and often says things that are sexist,
borderline racist,
homophobic, the rest. But
it's all in good fun. It's all in good fun.
Deep down, he's got a heart of gold. and he's played by. Holy crap! Why am I blanking?
Steve Carell?
Yes, I almost called it. I almost said Ben Stiller, and I'm like, that's not right.
I love Ben Stiller, but no.
No, he's definitely not. But yeah, played by Steve Carell. So, Craig, what do you think he wants from Kevin?
I think
I have two ways to go about this, but I want to know what you think.
my thought process, being Michael Scott, of course, is that he's on his way to a possible job interview at the home of the district manager
Okay.
of Dunder Mifflin.
All
So
right.
he thinks he's going to the district manager's house. He's gonna district manager's moving up. He's gonna see who's gonna take his place. So Michael Scott's like, hey, I want this job. I want to keep forwarding up in the company. So he heads on over.
Okay.
Wrong address though, because he's Michael Scott. He's fucking dumb.
He ends up at the wrong place.
He just goes to the neighbor's house, but for some reason he's so dead set on it that he just walks right on in like, hey.
Yeah, he's very committed.
Oh, he's committed. He bursts through the door.
Okay. So he just ends up at the wrong house looking for a promotion.
Yes.
And it turns out that happens to be Kevin McAllister Home Alone.
That's where my mind's going, but that's
All right. I had two other possibilities. One is very simple. Is that through some shenanigans, very Home Alone 3-esque. Is that
I thought we were
somehow
making Home Alone 3.
Well, yes, but like as if we like from the plot of the actual Home Alone 3 that does exist. You saw it in the theaters.
There's a microchip in the RC car.
No, like basically it ends up at the wrong place.
Okay.
And somehow Kevin McAllister ends up with the Dundee Award.
Oh no.
The Golden Dundee. And Michael Scott decides, instead of just reordering it or contacting that the package has not arrived, he decides that he's going to track the package himself. Because he's not used to the internet's package tracking. So he's like, oh, tracking. That's so that I can go to where it is. And sees where it's delivered. And he decides, well, I'm going to go get it. Knocks on the door. But of course, Kevin doesn't answer the door because he's home alone and he knows a little better than that.
Stranger danger.
Yeah, exactly. He falls for the gangster movie.
Yeah.
He totally falls for that. And we basically just go from there, where Michael Scott is trying to retrieve the Dundee that was wrongfully taken from him. So, because he wouldn't do this stuff with malicious intent. He's not that type of guy.
No, of
He
course
wouldn't
not.
just break into some kid's house on purpose. The other solution, the other thing, is where he does actively break into a kid's house on purpose. Because there's an episode of The Office, one of the Christmas specials, where he gets into like an argument whether he gets to be Santa or someone else in the office gets to be Santa Claus for their Christmas party. And he takes it a little bit too far and decides, fine, if I can't be the Santa Claus for the Christmas party, then I'll be the Santa Claus to all the children of the nearby neighborhoods.
Oh, God.
So he starts breaking into everyone's house to leave presents. But Kevin's the only one that happens to be awake because he doesn't have a bedtime when he's home alone.
So he's ready.
Yeah. So he's like, he sees him like struggling to get into people's houses and knows that his house is next, so he of course primes the house.
Naturally, as one would.
So what's your favorite of those three?
I like the Dundee one because I like the thought of that, like, it's calling to him.
Yeah.
It's calling to Michael Scott.
Yeah.
And by every passing second, he just scratching his neck, just like, my precious.
Let me get one of them Dundies.
It's mine. I deserved it. I'm the best boss in the world.
Fair enough.
Absolute psycho.
And also it would be a whole misunderstanding, which would be why he'd be going there in the first place.
Yes. I like to think he goes there with malicious intent, but it's very wholesome malicious intent.
Well, he just goes there with the first thing he wants to do is he just wants to knock on the door and nicely ask for his Dundee back. Kevin McAllister does not open the door, and therefore things kind of go a little south from there. Because instead, Kevin tries to play all the pranks, like like when he has like all the mannequins and shit going around.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, why can't someone answer the door? There's so many people in the house. And then he comes back, and then it's like a gangster shootout, and everything's just wrong.
See, I'm going straight Michael Scott decides no one answered the door. He's suspicious. Dundee's in there, it's calling him. So he walks around. Maybe they're in the backyard having a cookout. I don't know.
Yeah,
Who knows? It's Michael Scott.
Uh-huh.
Dog door. He sees
Oh,
it.
yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to take a little peek.
Go through the dog
maybe
door.
maybe the Dundee's right there. I don't know. Maybe it's sitting there in the kitchen. Takes a little sneak peek. Kevin's already right there with the BB gun.
Yep.
Bop. Headshot, baby.
Which means that this is no longer a Michael Scott job, because what is Michael Scott breaking into some child's house without his Dwight hand man?
Oh, no.
Without bringing Dwight into it, because you know Dwight's all over that.
Oh, Dwight's already scaled the ceiling. He's already on the roof.
he's casing the place. He's like, I know where the Dundee is.
Yeah. Dwight sniffed it out.
Yep. I can imagine Dwight showing up. He's all in like camouflage. It's green camouflage, even though it is completely snowy outside.
Yes. His IQ is so high that it just reverts back. But you can't understand
down.
a genius such as Dwight.
So Michael is going in there as Michael, but Dwight's going in there prepared.
Oh, he's the new Jason Bourne.
Oh, of course. So going by our rules, how would Michael Scott and Dwight, because of course, he has to have some help. Michael Scott wouldn't do these things by himself. He has to take Dwight with him, or maybe Jim, but Dwight's funnier.
Way funnier. Jim would just be a party pooper.
Yeah, Jim wouldn't even bother.
Jim would already be back in the car.
If Jim came with him, then Kevin would open the door and just give it back to him, and the story would end.
Yes,
because Jim just has.
Oh wow, he's
charm.
normal looking.
Yeah. Okay. So how would Michael Scott and Dwight fare against some of the classic Home Alone traps that we have seen? We know that Michael Scott would fall for the gangster shooting, and I think Dwight would too, because of all the Jim cranks that he falls for.
Yes, but I like to think as Michael is running, Dwight goes, I've seen this film. I've already seen it. Of course I've seen it.
Into the confessional camera, talking to the camera.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen Home Alone. Christmas classic.
So I think Michael would fall for that one, but Dwight would totally see through it and just be like, no.
Okay. I think both of them would fall for the burning doorknob.
100%.
I would fall for the burning doorknob.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Who would expect the doorknob to be burning hot?
Not me.
Which, side note, Home Alone 2, I really appreciate that they have Harry's hand is burned with the McAllister, like...
M.
Yeah, the M. Like,
yeah.
They didn't have to do that. Attention to detail.
Yeah.
That's what the Home Alone movies are known for.
Well, see, that's when he got awakened to his Majin form. He's angrier than ever.
Marv!
True power awakened.
Why have the Wet Bandits not achieved whole meme status that everyone else has at this point?
Why didn't they get their own movie is what I'm trying to figure out.
You know what? It's only a matter of time before Disney Plus gives us Wet Bandits, a Disney Plus exclusive, like, gritty noir film. It's a prequel.
No, I want it to be a TV show. Somehow turns out better than, like, The Mandalorian. Somehow, I don't know how.
Turns out that they cared for baby Kevin.
Yeah, baby Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah, baby Kevin is actually trapping them. They're like trying to rob the hospital or something.
Marv named him. It's actually Kevgoo.
Grogu Spanish. Okay, so I feel like Dwight fares a little bit better against most of the classic, because we're going to Home Alone 1 for this scenario, because it's Kevin's house.
Yes.
He
had the prep time.
Dwight would be able to dodge the paint cans on the stairs.
He would fall for the little toy cars, though. He would fall for that.
Yes.
Because he would pull a Jason Bourne and, like, think to himself, eyes forward, keep moving, don't stop, stealth.
Yeah.
He
would not fall for a lot of the ones that Marv falls for, where Marv ends up, like, losing a shoe. I don't think he'd deal with that.
He's stepping on the nail.
You think Dwight stepped on the nail?
Oh, he definitely steps on the nail.
But I don't think he loses a shoe. I think he would see, hey, I have a little bit of resistance when I try and pick my foot up on this stair. I'll just go back. Which means he's also not going to step on the ornaments.
I'll give you that, but I still think nail. I think Dwight's the kind of person that would be like, oh, this will not stop me.
I don't know. What is Home Alone but a lot of really lethal gym pranks? He may be prepared.
But he was never prepared for a gym prank.
This is true.
He falls for all of them.
Dwight does not have a problem with the tarantula on his face either.
No, he'd probably name the species and gently pick it up and put it down.
Yeah. Michael Scott, on the other hand, does not fare very well in most of these things.
No, Michael Scott's failing insanely well.
Yep. I don't think he... I don't think he goes for opening the door to get the flamethrower on the head thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that happens. But he will get tarred and feathered.
Oh, 100%.
He will get the feathers. And I think once they get to the zip line, they're probably going to give... Well, Michael's probably just going to give up at the zip line part. Dwight's going to go for it.
Yes. Dwight is on a mission, and he will not give up.
Yes, as we discussed in Dwight Schrute versus Krafen the Hunter.
As we all know.
Dwight doesn't back down from a challenge to his physical prowess.
No.
And nor should he.
Yeah. The man's built like a tank.
Yes. So definitely, both of them are probably less competent than the Wet Bandits put together. But Dwight fares a little bit better than Marv in this scenario.
Yes, but only because of the mindset.
Yeah, he gets less injuries. But he still doesn't, he still gets hurt at some point.
Yes.
So, here's my question to you. Does Kevin need help? Or has he got this?
No, I'm not going to say he's got it, but no one's finding no Dundee. Neither of them are finding the Dundee.
Yep. Turns out it never went there.
Yeah,
it went to the
Yeah.
kid from the actual Home Alone 3.
It was in the RC car the whole
Yeah,
time.
it was in the RC car. Okay, so... that's pretty cut and dry to me.
Yeah.
It's not too crazy, and we've saved our one Kevin gets help token.
Yes. Get out of jail free card.
Everyone gets one.
Only one.
All right, so we'll move on to the next one. And go ahead.
I will spin my wheel on this one.
All right, and we'll see who we get. And I don't think I really care if we've discussed the character already, because we've discussed Kevin McAllister already.
Okay, well, I got a fun one. I got the Berenstein Bears from the Evil Dimension. Can't make that up.
That means they're spelled differently.
Yes. It's spelled the correct way,
Yeah,
if you will.
if you would. And it's up to the viewers to decide which one that is.
There's only one. Don't kid yourself here.
Okay, so all of the Berenstein Bears.
Well, mom, dad, son, and daughter. I don't remember any of their names, but they're doppelgangers, if you will.
You're going to kick yourself. It really is just like Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Sister Bear, Brother Bear.
God damn it.
Those are their canonical names.
Wow.
Yeah, so you hit the nail on the head pretty well there.
The author really dug deep for that.
The authors, the Berensteins.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So, I say we kick Kevin out of his house.
Oh, are we going Goldilocks style?
I was thinking either Goldilocks style, where the bears happen to be out and he gets lost during, like, say, a camping trip, therefore making him home alone in their own home.
Okay.
While they are gone. Alternatively, the McAllisters just got to go on a camping trip with all of those people. And he doesn't want to sleep in a tent with Fuller because he wets the bed.
Have you seen how much, was it Coke or Pepsi?
Yep, just looking over.
She's drinking so much soda.
Imagine just being at a family gathering and you gotta, like, bunk with one of the kids who's known to wet the bed, and you look at him from across the room and he looks at you with that shit-eating grin and he's just like, yeah, look how much fucking soda I'm drinking.
The actual little jerk.
Yeah. You little jerk. Kevin, you are a disease.
Elle est compétente.
We love Home Alone here.
Oh, love it.
So they go on a camping trip, and he decides that he doesn't want to sleep with Fuller because Fuller wets the tent. And somehow, some way, because the family's incompetent, ends up home aloning him at the campground.
As one would.
But I don't know if that gives us as much potential as it would be leaving, as doing a Goldilocks. What do you think?
Ooh. I'm thinking kind of where you're going. I like to think of a Goldilocks type situation. Kevin actually runs away from home into the woods.
Okay.
Stumbles upon a bear den. But, like, obviously it's
a house.
Yeah, exactly. With house-like objects.
Yeah. They do live in a whole house.
They do.
Well, it's like a tree. You live in a tree and it has like a door on it. You go in. It's basically a full 2-story house.
Pretty badass.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
So I like to think he finds that and he thinks to himself, like, I never want my parents to find me. I'm gonna booby trap the house. So he just starts setting up his booby traps just to, like, keep everyone away. He doesn't want anyone to find him.
I like that. Basically, let's just say that the family really pissed him off this time.
Yeah, like nuclear level.
Because the first time he just didn't want the family to be there, and he was just home by himself. And then he was like, you know what, I really wish they were here. The next time, he gets to go to a different state, and that's fine, but it's a mishap. There's still a bit of an issue the night before, but there's a mishap. And then, this time the family pisses off someone that he decides, you know what, I'm not going to go where you're going.
I'm going to live on my own.
I'm going to leave. And he leaves, finds the Berenstein Bear house, and... You know, he's probably just like, you know what, they got all these toys, they got all this candy and, like, food, and, like, there's some cookies, like, just out of the oven. A delicious cheese pizza just for me.
Just for me. He's home.
So he's like, all right, this is my place now. I'm going to crash here. And then, home come the bears.
The bears come.
Yes. Keeping in mind, they are... bears.
Yes, from the alternate dimension. They're the doppelgangers.
Yep. I am not exactly sure if they're brown bears or grizzly bears, but they're not black bears.
And they will fuck you up.
Yes, they will probably fuck you up. So, but they're also like, the Berenstein Bears is basically just another dimension where people are just bears.
Mm-hmm. Anamorphic.
Yes, anthropomorphic bears, and they learn lessons, but they come home, and, well, Papa Bear falls for the burning doorknob trick.
Oh, yeah, well, of course, because he's just walking into his own home. He did not see that coming.
Yes, and this pisses him off to know it.
And he was already mad.
Yeah, he just rips the door off. He's a bear.
Yeah, right before this scene, we didn't see it was off screen, but he's already beaten his wife and kids. Like,
you know what? As someone that grew up a little bit with Berenstein Bears, I can see that coming from Papa Bear.
He always seemed like he had some slight anger issues.
He does have slight anger issues.
I mean, you leave the bike in the driveway so many times, you're going to get popped.
Yeah, the bear bike in the bear driveway.
Oh my god, you just can't be having that.
Yeah, it gets in the way of the bear car. Alright, well, so this time we've got 4. Kevin has never had to deal with 4
opponents
at once. I mean, the hotel stuff doesn't really count because only Rob Schneider and Tim Curry are the ones that are like actively after him.
I totally forgot that was Rob Schneider. Holy shit.
Yeah. It's easy to forget.
I knew it was Tim.
It's easy to forget because the movie's not painful to watch.
Facts.
And then we got Tim Curry. The woman and like the security guard and one other guy don't do anything most of the time.
Facts.
So it's really only 2 of them, and Tim Curry also busts into their room at like the middle of the night. So
slightly weird.
So Kevin is going up against 4 opponents at the same time.
2 are children though.
Yeah, but all of them are bears.
True, but with Kevin's high IQ, I mean...
This also means possibly getting between a bear cub and a mama bear.
That is true. But again, Evil Dimension, mom does not care about children.
Okay.
No love. No chill.
So, how do the bears fare in some usual Home Alone traps? I think a lot of them are missed on this. I don't think this actually takes place during Christmas. I don't think there's any snow, so there's no ice or anything like that. Okay. Everyone's going to fall for the burning doorknob because it's his own home.
So, of course.
Yes. But they are also bears, so they will probably fall for most of the usual shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
And also because it's their house and they do not expect a tar and feather trap to be in their kitchen.
Yes, did not see coming.
But I feel like they're pretty durable for most of this stuff.
Yeah, I think they're going to eat most of the traps. I don't think they're going to get hurt too bad.
So now Kevin's like, oh shit. I broke into a bear house.
They're fucking bears.
Yeah. So now it's really more Kevin on the run because he does have a pretty high IQ for a 8 to 10-year-old. But he didn't predict that bears would be the ones that are living in here.
Yes.
So now Kevin has to escape the Berenstein Bears house. Now, I don't exactly have supreme knowledge of the Berenstein Bears because I had like an episode or two of their like animated specials like when I was a kid, and that's pretty much the extent of it. We had some books, but they were not like the books that I read the most when I was much younger. So I imagine that they only have 2 exits to their house, the front door and the back door.
Yes.
I don't believe that they have like an attic or anything like that.
No, I wouldn't think so either.
So that means Kevin's got to go from the upstairs and then back downstairs and out without the bears noticing him. And I think he's going to have a hard time.
So I'm kind of torn because I do like the thought of the bears being so goddamn evil that fucking the bears surround the place and light their own fucking house on fire.
We'll smoke him out, children.
Yeah, I say they just go all in.
All right.
Just go for it.
So with that being said, is Kevin getting help?
I think it's too late. Kevin's dead.
You know what? In him running away and being a loner, he wouldn't have had time to bond with some random misfit.
Yeah.
So it's just too late for Kevin in this scenario.
It's just way
Kevin
too late.
loses against the Berenstein Bears.
Unfortunately.
Because they're bears.
Unless he calls in Frozone, I don't know. I think he's screwed.
Yeah, but what time would he have had to talk to Frozone when he ran away? And he's busy being like, I don't need anyone. I can go on my own.
It's the 90s. He doesn't have a cell phone. He's screwed.
Yeah, but you know what? That didn't stop the pigeon lady or the old guy from showing up out of nowhere.
That is true.
Although it was the old guy's house.
Also true.
Yeah. And it was the pigeon lady's
attic.
Park.
Yeah, park or whatever.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll move on to the next one. It's too late for Kevin in this one.
Yeah, Kevin's dead.
I want to use Kevin's help once.
Oh, we will.
Yes, I'm holding this coin, by the way. Yeah, people can't see this, but I'm holding a coin. This will determine whose list we get the help from.
Oh, I like it. All right. Oh, no. It could be anything.
It could be anything. But a mystery box could be anything. Even a boat. All right. You know what? I've used him on an episode before. I don't want to use him again. I don't want to use that character at all. Okay. This is another classic team-up. This is Kevin McAllister. I don't know how this shit's going to work. Fred and Barney. As in the Flintstones characters.
Huh. Interesting.
I think we're going to have to pull some random shit out of our ass for this to work.
Oh, God.
Because they're from the town of Bedrock. Prehistory.
Okay.
I have a really roundabout way of doing this.
I have a dumb one.
By all means, go first.
Okay. So, Fred and Barney, for whatever weird reason, they decide they want to, make something.
Okay.
They somehow stumble upon coffee.
Okay.
They made coffee for the first time. Except this coffee isn't your normal, today's average coffee. This is prehistoric coffee, so it's practically crack.
Yeah. Hey, Fred, check out what I made.
So, they pretty much essentially make crack coffee. I like to think they get into their little runaway car.
Okay.
And they just take off, and they go so fast.
They time travel?
They time travel.
J-Bond, this stuff's pretty good.
Run faster!
Okay, I have a canonical version.
Okay, go on, please.
Okay, well, it is Flintstones canon that they've met the Jetsons.
Oh shit, that's true.
How do the Jetsons meet the Flintstones? Elroy makes a time machine. That is also how he involved George Jetson in an earlier episode. But Elroy makes a time machine. Simple. Goes back to the past, goes to prehistoric times, meets Fred and Barney. They have a whole little thing. All is well at the end. Well, like most mad scientists, what's to stop him from making a time machine again?
Nothing.
Yep, so he does the same thing, ends up in Bedrock, like he did before. But this time Fred and Barney are like, hey Fred, why does he get to have all the fun?
I want to see some stuff.
Yeah, I want to see what the future's like. Well, sure, Bart, we can be millionaires. If we just go 3 weeks into the future. It's not 3 weeks. Something goes haywire and it ends up sending them 3,000 years into the future. Or whatever.
It's now the year 2000.
Well, it is now 1998. Or whenever, let's say, Home Alone 2 takes place.
Okay, I like it.
And so they end up in wherever Kevin lives. I forget the state.
Chicago?
Is it Chicago? I don't know. Rich white people land.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, gee, Fred, where the hell are we?
Why is it so cold?
I don't know, Barn, but I'm freezing my rocks off.
Oh, no.
Laugh track. So, everything's all three-dimensional.
Whoa.
So they're going around, and, you know what? Fuck it, this is during the events of Home Alone 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
They happen to time travel and go in. They go into the exact same place of the Wet Bandits, so they're like, so the Wet Bandits just cease to exist, and they happen to be in their van or something.
Okay.
What's going on with this car? I can't push it with my feet. But basically, they see Kevin McAllister walking home alone after he stole that toothbrush.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they see him in like a little cap. He's a young little blonde kid. They mistake him for Elroy from the Jetsons.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that twist.
Yeah, okay.
Wow, that twist came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think that this is how I can make prehistoric cavemen characters end up in the 90s. So, hey, Fred. Look at that kid.
It's Elroy.
And I can't help but notice he's not smoking Winston cigarettes.
Oh, no.
Never forget that before selling Fruity Pebbles to children, the Flintstones sold Winston cigarettes.
As one
peddling them for their fine flavor. Gee, Fred, I hate seeing the women out here doing all these chores. Yeah, Bon, let's go to the back where we can't see them. Classic Flintstones comedy. This is a direct quote. Direct quote from the Flintstones.
Oh
aged like fine wine.
Sounds like something Trump would say.
Like the finest cheese. So basically, Kevin McAllister is now running away from these two almost naked strangers.
Yeah, he's scared as shit.
Yeah, I would be too.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah. Goes into the house and, he's sure acting strange now. Both of them, Fred's supposed to be the smarter one, but they're both kind of stupid.
Hear me out, though. I like the thought, though, of that when they did time travel to
the 90s.
Yes. He turns into actually John Goodman.
So Kevin is now running from a half-naked John Goodman and whoever plays Barney.
I feel like we should know who plays Barney, but it's skipping me.
Google it.
Googling.
You're on it, Craig. So they turn into live-action versions.
Yes, that's what I want to think.
So basically, Kevin's running from him, and now both of them are. Neither of them are. Well, like I said, Fred's supposed to be the smarter one, even though he's just as dumb sometimes. And Barney is on a surface level dumb, but he's got he can get himself out of more situations. He has the better luck with that. But both of them decide they got to break into this house and get some answers. And, well, Home Alone traps ensue.
Naturally. And it's Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis is playing Barney, really?
Yes. Yeah, that's
what
I was
completely forgot.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I was like, come on, I know we know this.
He was played by someone different in Viva Rock Vegas, wasn't he?
Was he?
Because I did not imagine it. I'm used to Rick Moranis with big-ass glasses on.
Hold on. Let me get to the bottom of this case.
Time to look into the fantastic sequel, Viva Rock Vegas.
Oh yeah, 'cause it's not even John Goodman. Oh, come on, phone.
And if you can't get John Goodman in the 90s, you can't get...
you don't have Rick Moranis money.
You don't have Rick Moranis money. I wish I had Rick Moranis money. Rick Moranis, if you're listening to this, on the off chance you're listening to the podcast, we'd love to have you on.
Please sponsor.
We'll have a Rick Moranis-a-thon where it's just all of your movie characters in a battle royale. My money's on Wayne Selinsky from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That's a good one.
He'd probably be the winner in all of them.
Such a big brain IQ.
Yeah.
No one would be able to stop it.
What?
Barney was played by Stephen Baldwin. Viva Rock Vegas.
Viva Rock Vegas.
Wow. What an all-star lineup.
Yep.
What a damn shame.
Well, all right. So basically, they try to break into the house, and classic Home Alone traps ensue. They are cavemen.
Yes.
So they fall for all of the traps.
Yeah, because they're dumb.
Yeah.
Especially John Goodman.
But they're durable.
Oh, yeah, I like to think they're going to eat most of them.
Yeah,
like the paint cans eat, BB gun eat.
Yeah, Fred has taken hits on the head many times, as explained in the Harvey Birdman Attorney at Law episode where Fred becomes a gangster.
No, I truly like to think that these cavemen are going to easily eat most of these. I think we need our... I think we need help on this one. I think this is the one
You think we need some help with the cavemen?
Yes.
I mean, honestly, it's a terrifying situation, because at least the wet bandits are fully clothed.
Yes. John Goodman is like fucking 6'4" and 300 pounds of just pure...
Yeah, because this is 90s John Goodman, where he is a big boy.
Yes.
It is not modern John Goodman, where he has, congratulations to him, lost a ton of weight.
Boo! Boo!
John Goodman will always be the lovable large man to me.
Yes, same.
He's everyone's dad. But yeah, I mean, the wet bandits, at least they stay clothed the whole time. There was not even one single Joe Pesci shirtless scene in this movie.
Well, it's not that they're half nude. It's just with every step you see John Goodman's schlong just kind of sway with the fabric. Like you can clearly see it's
there's a little bit of
definition.
Bit of an outline on that.
Oh yeah, no, you see complete definition.
Yeah,
it's
there's
there.
that too. Also, the fact that they're eating all of Kevin's traps because, Fred's been hurt a bunch of times. Barney's been hurt a bunch of times. They are indeed, even though they are live action people in this particular scenario, they did come from the classic.
Yes.
Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
They can take a little more damage.
They have cartoon physics, but regular people...
I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, we're going to need a lot of help.
Alright, so if we're calling in our Kevin Needs Help token.
Yes.
Heads, tails.
All right, am I
Call
calling
it.
it?
Yeah, call it.
Heads.
Oh, it is heads.
It is heads. Okay.
That means someone from Craig's List is going to come in as in clutch to help out Kevin McAllister against Fred and Barney from the Flintstones.
Okay, I know who I want, but
Will you
there's
get
like
them?
50 names on here, so I doubt it.
And will it be enough?
Oh no,
Oh, who is it?
it's the Geico Gecko, but I think we've gotten him before. Haven't
We have used him before.
Okay, so I'm going.
I will let you re-roll. I will let you re-roll because Kevin's screwed if it's the Geico Gecko.
Yeah, he's absolutely fucked.
We need a little bit more help on this one.
Okay, I think we're gonna come in clutch. I
Okay.
think this is gonna work out. I got Megatron. I think we might clutch this one out in the third inning.
Well, so there's two ways we can go about this.
Oh God!
Either Megatron is an actual toy that Kevin has at his disposal, or we go by your previous logic of when we brought Fred and Barney here. This is now the Michael Bay Megatron.
Yes. Yeah, we can go either way with that one. Or I could spin again to maybe get something slightly.
I'm down for Megatron, but I'm
Alright.
interested in who else is coming. But no, we'll stick with Megatron.
Okay, all right, we'll see with Megatron.
Well, I think Kevin is saved.
yeah.
It cost the entire block, but it does save Kevin.
Home Alone 3 just became a blockbuster hit.
Oh yeah, this was an absolute smash. Fred and Barney, coming after Kevin like Elroy, why don't you want to help us? Get back here. My Fred Flintstone impression is the same as my Peter Griffin impression. They're the same thing.
They're the same, but it's fine.
But Lois, you think that's bad? No, so of course Kevin's like cornered, just like with the Wet Bandits corner. But he's not in the old guy's house. He's like he's probably stuck on the stairs after the tarantula bit, because he doesn't have anything else that these cavemen aren't taking. And suddenly, just the whole roof just comes off, and it's the Michael Bay version of Megatron.
For some weird reason, Megatron is slightly malfunctioning, and he thinks the giant behemoth that is John Goodman is actually Optimus Prime.
Well, no. He at some point Kevin befriended Megatron, and he's like, and he just shows up and he's like, "I've got you this time, kid," and like picks up the two cavemen and just throws them,
Just yeets them to the stars.
Yeah,
You heard that little twinkle sound?
yeah.
Ding.
Pulls a fucking Iron Giant. He's just like, thumbs up, thumbs up, and leaves.
Well, that was,
Anticlimactic, if you would.
but it worked.
When Kevin needed help, and who better to help him than a robotic
Giant mega.
giant mech?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I can't argue with it.
All right. Now, here comes the hard part. Because this means on our fourth and final scenario, we've been recording for about 44 minutes.
Oh, shit.
For our fourth and final scenario, Kevin doesn't get help. So whoever it is,
Yeah, we just got it. Oh, no.
and that means this is from yours.
Okay. Okay, Kevin. Who will you be going against now?
Unless you wanted to be from mine, since you got the help.
Oh, no. I'm okay with this one.
All right.
Kevin McAllister versus Captain Crunch.
Okay. Honestly, I think this one's pretty cut and dry.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, how he comes in contact with Captain Crunch. Kevin's home alone, and he's eating some Captain Crunch.
He needs a good goddamn
Yeah,
breakfast cereal.
it's like he had like mac and cheese, like as a Christmas dinner. He probably has, Captain Crunch. He's home alone.
he is home alone.
Yeah. He says, "Crunch ties me, Captain," because you wouldn't say that normally unless you were alone by yourself.
Naturally.
and the giant foghorn. Did someone want a crunchberry?
Literally, giant ship just crashes
Yeah,
through
exactly.
the kitchen wall.
And it's just like, well, shit.
All of a sudden, Kevin's like tangled in he's like stuck in a sea of peanut butter. Because peanut butter Captain Crunch.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and
It's
then,
my favorite.
And then the little berries, they all come hopping out, and they're fiending for blood, human blood.
I'm curious. Has Captain Crunch ever had like any sidekick?
I wouldn't think so.
Let me find out.
I mean,
Captain Crunch.
You could probably count the berries as a sidekick.
Yeah. Just found this fan art of Captain Crunch with his little sword out.
Oh, I like it. Type in Rule 34, Captain Crunch.
Not today. By the way, his full name is Horatio Magellan Crunch.
Oh my god. You can't make that up.
Oh boy. According to Captain Crunch on the Heroes Wiki.
He is a hero.
Yep, to our stomachs. He's been around since the 60s? I didn't know.
Heroes to his stomach, but also a child murderer. Whoever would
So-
have known.
So whilst I'm looking at this, well, you know what? This isn't important. It's Captain Crunch. So I was about to dive deep into some Captain Crunch lore, but so unless you have a different scenario for Kevin wanting to be crunch-tized,
It's all he's ever dreamed about. It's the ultimate fetish.
I mean, he's home alone. He's missing his family now. He's eating some Captain Crunch for breakfast because he thinks 3 square meals a day. He's being responsible, like when he washes behind his ears, and he's just like, "Crunch ties me, Captain." And then a giant 1700 shipping
No.
sea vessel slams through his house.
No, hear me out. We go Bloody Mary style, where he's looking at his own reflection in the spoon. Crunchitize me. Crunchitize me.
Crunchitize me.
What?
No, the ship pulls up. It doesn't go into his house, but it pulls up and hits over the lawn jockey. Just like the pizza guy.
Classic.
Yep. Well, that would give a reason for Captain Crunch to try and break in. Like, someone wanted to be crunchitized. And Kevin's like, you don't mess with a kid's cereal on Christmas.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. I'm not crunchitized anymore. You hear that? I'm not crunchitized anymore. But now, much like Bloody Mary style, Captain Crunch cannot leave until the payment is filled.
Yes.
He can't leave until a child has been crunchitized to, show a new flavor or something. So basically, Captain Crunch is like banging on the door, like, "Oh, let me in! I've got so many flavors to show you."
I won't hurt you.
Which is not something you want to hear from some guy that you don't know on the other side of your door. Is "I won't hurt you. I have many flavors for you."
That does not sound like a good time about to ensue.
Yep. So Kevin, of course, is now setting the traps for Captain Crunch. And Captain Crunch eventually gets tired of waiting, busts the door down.
Oh, yeah, like an absolute unit.
Yeah, and now he's going through the house like a serial killer, like, "I heard a little boy wanted to be crunchitized."
It's just me, Horatio.
It's just me, Horatio Magellan Crunch. H.M. Crunch.
Would you like to join my crew? Oh, that's what happens. When you get crunchitized, you join his crew.
Yep.
Davy Jones style.
Part of the cereal, part of the crew. Part of the ship, part of the cereal.
Oh my god.
So, honestly, classic Home Alone traps. We've got, the fan and the feathers. We got the burning doorknob. We've got the gangster movie. We've got the spider. We've got the cars, the paint cans. Captain Crunch tanks all of it.
Yes.
Like an absolute madman. Just walks through all of it. Does not even fade. The feathers don't even stick to him.
Not even remotely.
The burning doorknob, unaffected.
Yes, doesn't feel anything.
In fact, he touches the doorknob and it turns into crunch berries.
Oh my god.
He's got the Midas touch.
But it's the Crunchberry touch.
It's the Midas Crunch.
Oh my god.
Everything he touches turns to cereal.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And so Kevin's now running for his life. And, well, thanks to Megatron being used against Fred and Barney, there's just not a way out of this.
There is the forbidden weapon. Kevin goes into his parents' rooms. And he finds the 12 gauge. He never thought he'd have to use it, but time's time.
Well, that means nothing to the captain.
Unfortunately. Kevin, he thinks this is his ace in the hole, if you will.
Yes, but you see, Captain Crunch, he's operating like Candyman in this scenario. Where basically, until Captain Crunch is given a body to crunchitize, everything he touches will turn to crunch berries. So Kevin finally, he's like, oh, it's no different from a BB gun. Cocks the gun, loads it, aims directly at Captain Crunch's fat ass nose, shoots out, bullet time. It goes, Captain Crunch is not phased. The bullet hits his nose as soon as it collides. Crunch berries. Yeah, not coming from Captain Crunch. The bullet is now turned into crunch berries.
Mind you, Kevin also dislocated his shoulder and he's on the floor crying.
Kevin can't make it out of this one alive. Kevin tries the spider turns into the crunch berries. It turns into a crunchy spider.
Oh no.
Or, no. That's how Kevin makes out if you're alive. Once the Captain crunchitizes the other living being, the tarantula, the debt has been filled. The pact has been sealed.
So you're saying spiders have souls?
Alternatively, the wet bandits try and break in at this exact moment and get in the way, and Captain Crunch crunchitizes them in the side, and is like, the pact has been sealed.
Yeah, no, Kevin sacrifices both of them for a 2-for-1 special.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, he paid off.
My blood contract has been fulfilled.
You live to crunch another day.
I love that. I'm imagining this version of Captain Crunch that when he speaks, there's like an echo.
Very godlike.
Yeah, and his eyes are just like glowing white, like.
Oh no, I like to think his
ethereal.
eyes have been rolled into the back of his head the whole time.
They're just like glowing white. It's like ethereal. Look deep into the eyes and you see the entire solar system, except the solar system is Crunchberry.
Little crunch planets.
Yep. And he's like coming up to Kevin. He's like, I thought you wanted to be crunchitized.
No,
You
Captain,
shall
no!
be one. You shall be one with the ship.
I'm sorry, Captain.
It is not a death, but a chance for innocence. This says some like random like profound stuff. By the way, Meat Canyon, if you happen to be watching this, please upload a video called Crunchitize Me next Sunday.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
If Meat Canyon does Captain Crunch, I'll love him forever, even more than I already do.
I don't know if that's possible. Oh fuck yeah!
Oh yeah. So yeah, I think maybe Kevin sacrifices the living being, the spider, and Captain Crunch is just like, the pact has been sealed. It has been crunchitized. And then he just goes away and everything just turns back to normal, but the spider's gone.
Yeah, spider's just straight up gone.
Yeah.
Fades to crunch.
Yeah.
Credits.
That's a wrap. Buzz comes home. He's like, Kevin, what'd you do with my tarantula? And Kevin's like, just beat me up. Just beat me up, Buzz. You don't want to know.
I don't want to know. Crunchy.
His mom comes home. Kevin, I bought you some Captain Crunch. No! No! Don't speak his name.
Don't speak his name aloud. He's looking around. He's watching. Finn.
Good thing I have this delicious trick cereal. Then meanwhile, like in the window is like this looming giant rabbit.
You just see the outline.
Yeah.
Set up for Home Alone 4.
That's the post-credit scene where he gets some tricks.
That's good. I like that.
By the way, Craig, weren't you the guy that had a meltdown when he found out Trix yogurt was discontinued?
No, that was not me. That is a fucking horrid outrage that people need to fucking complain about.
Well, I heard about it, and I'm just like, I feel like it's just always been there. But I was watching stream highlights from this one dude, and his chat was like, "Hey, weren't you the guy that like lost his shit on stream because he found out Tritz Yogurt was canceled?" I was like, wait, what? And then I realized it's a clever ploy, because once you say, "Aren't you that guy that lost his shit when you found out it was canceled? It was discontinued?" It's like then you become that guy.
Yeah, I'm now googling Trix Yogurt because I'm about to be pissed off. You're fucking right. I don't know if you're right or wrong. I feel like you tricked me.
Silly Craig, tricks are for kids.
Ugh. Ugh, no. It wasn't profitable. No.
I thought it was around forever.
What the fuck? No, wait. Is it? I think they took it away and brought it back.
At least we still have Danimals, right, Craig?
Drinkables. Do you know how I know? I bought some not that long ago. Yep, I don't give a fuck. They're delicious.
There's no shame here on this channel. So yeah, I don't think Kevin makes it out alive with the with Captain Crunch.
No.
Especially this abomination Captain Crunch, where he's got the Midas touch, where everything he touches like turns to. It's like a paranormal. It's almost paranormal. It's like at the end of like Amityville Horror, where the house like starts bleeding, or like the end of Poltergeist, when everything's just like hitting the fan, and he's like, you can't run forever. Like at first he shows up with like the little like the ship whistle, like,
but it's very ominous.
Hi there. I've got so many crunch berries to share. But then like once things don't go his way, like the kid's not there, like, oh boy, Captain Crunch. He's like, I guess I'll have to find you. Puts his hand on the burning doorknob and just turns to crunch berries. The whole door just turns into crunch berries. Honestly, it's a One Piece power. It's a devil fruit at this point.
I like to think he's more of like a crunchy necromancer. a crunchmancer.
A necro-cruncher?
Yeah, a necro-cruncher, if you will.
I don't know if I like that one.
You shouldn't. No one should.
A necro-cruncher. He just touches the door and it just crunch berry.
It just gets crunchitized.
Yep. Kevin's like, shooting him with his dad's gun, crunch berries.
Since they're like the little BBs from the shotgun, it's just like a shit ton of like really, 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 really small crunch berries.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kevin's like trying to go up like to the attic because that's like where his zipline is. Meanwhile, the crunch berries are flooding the house.
Yes.
So Captain Crunch is just like surfing the crunch berries.
Just rising the tide.
He's like rising up. I don't need staircases, boy.
We don't have stairs where I'm from.
For I was there when there were none. And I always will be.
Rose to the heavens.
Yeah, he rises up on his pillar of crunch berries. Like it makes stairs. Like he just steps forward and there's just another like shaft of crunch berries.
They just magically like show up.
Yeah, he just like appears. Kevin's like on the zip line. He's like, "Come get me, you horse's ass!" He just touches the zip line and just crunch berry. It's connected to the tree house and all sorts of crunch berries.
Kevin falls 20 feet, eats complete shit.
Or maybe another way he gets out of this is he does go to the old guy's house, and the old guy comes up and tries to defend Kevin, and he gets crunchitized.
Okay.
Old guy gets crunchitized, and he's like, the blood pact has been filled.
Oh, I like that
The contract
better.
has been satiated.
I like that one better.
When you look to the heavens, do not think of God.
Think of crunch.
Think of crunch berries. Meat Canyon. Please.
Please.
We're giving you ideas.
You gotta do a Captain Crunch episode.
Please. Yeah. Captain Crunch just touches like the ground. The entire world turns into crunch berry.
It just turns into one giant mega crunch berry. Preferably blue one.
The world will be recreated in my image. You are part of a balanced breakfast.
Do you hear it?
Gabriel's trumpet is sounding. But yeah, once he crunch ties like an equivalent life. He just like he doesn't even get back on his ship. He just kind of like he ascends into the heavens without crunch berries and like fades away, and then suddenly everything just turns back to normal, like it never was. like nothing ever had happened before. It's just now the old guy's missing and Kevin's by himself, and he really hates Captain Crunch.
He's gonna have to live with PTSD of Captain Crunch.
Yeah, you thought you thought being left home alone by your parents not once but twice was bad. Try dealing with Captain Crunch.
Yeah, that's a whole.
Try dealing with
that's a whole bowl of crunch.
Horatio Magellan Crunch. He's got 2 first names.
The crunch is out of the bag now.
Goodbye, boy. May we meet another day.
By the way, this is 1998, so to speak, so I like to think that, like, the way this movie ends, or storyline ends, is that his parents finally come back home, they got some groceries, and out comes, and it says it right there in the box, brand new peanut butter Captain Crunch. No. Yeah, Kevin does his famous double hand scream.
Well, Christmas is over. Time for some more. The next one takes place during Halloween. He's haunted by Count Chocula.
Whoa! That's actually pretty great.
Or no, it's just Tricks like, I'm glad that's over. Good thing tricks are just for kids. And then, like, in the background, like, looming is this, like, 12-foot tall rabbit.
It's pretty much Slenderman with ears.
Yeah, exactly. But he's beefy. Like, he's a big-ass rabbit. Like...
But you actually don't see him. You just see the shadow.
You just see the outline and, like, some glowing eyes.
Peeking into the McAllister residence.
Yes. The Tricks rabbit, luckily, is not as powerful as Captain Crunch.
But he has a bloodlust like no other.
Yes. God help you if you eat Tricks on a full moon.
It's a fucking Wendigo.
It's a skinwalker.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, what a fantastic Christmas episode that was. For all who have been listening, Merry Christmas. I hope you get to enjoy it with your family and you're not home alone.
You don't want to be home alone.
Not when Captain Crunch is about.
Send me your address.
And you'll never be home alone again. Just kidding. But you can find Craig on more episodes of Impossible Versus Matches. You can find me right here. And everyone, have a Merry Christmas. And we'll probably be taking a little break afterwards, but we'll be back full force probably in January. Or something. We'll see what happens.
Oh, and also it's Happy Holidays. This guy is an absolute monster, and he doesn't care about other people's cultures. Cancel joke.
You know what? All right. You know what? Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about that. So, it is Christmas. It's a Christmas episode. It's Merry Christmas.
It's a holiday episode?
You know what? We didn't have a single Jewish character on here, except for maybe Father Bear.
I was going to say, you're really assuming religions now.
You know what? The Berenstain Bears have celebrated Christmas. I've seen it. The Flintstones have Flintstones Christmas.
Something's afoot.
Captain Crunch has holiday versions. And the first one. Oh, and Michael Scott has a Christmas episode every season.
Dwight's definitely Jewish.
Dwight is Dwight.
So he's Jewish?
Well, he has like that version of Santa Claus that like whips people with sticks.
Oh, that's just a fetish. He just gets off to it.
What an episode. Well, join us next time of Impossible Versus Matches. There might be another Christmas episode after this, or maybe that's the Christmas episode, but Merry Christmas. Happy Holidays before Craig gets on me.
There we go.
Shalom.
Politically correct.
Yeah. Happy Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and the rest.
Happy
Ramadan. And Christmas.
But hey, that's just a theory.
A Christmas theory.
And God bless everyone.